I'm currently stalled on making videos because my primary computer is in the shop, and I have two problems with my current titles. First, the next film in the 6 Degrees Marathon is an incredibly mundane Taika Waititi film, about which I have trouble finding anything interesting to say, despite it winning him an Oscar. And second, while I was struggling with this bit of writer's block, I saw an absolutely horrendous, insulting film in theaters, which created the opposite problem. There's so much to say about it that the video has ballooned to become extremely long, and even though I've been working on it for a month and a half, I'm still only about half finished. Luckily, I have something short to say about The Creator, which I saw in theaters this week. It's a flawed film, but I mostly liked it. The acting was its strongest element. But I've noticed that there are several media stories about how original this story is, and why it's a shame that it's already slated to flop. I was baffled by this assessment because, well, I guess it's easier just to go through the plot, which I would describe in its simplest form as siding with the Terminators. The Creator tells the story of a socially stratified society, in which violent conflict has been fomented against artificially intelligent robots. A powerful and expensive doomsday weapon has been developed in order to reshape society by eliminating enemies in one fell swoop. The protagonist is an investigator seeking out a human rights-violating mad scientist who is developing a superweapon that will turn the tide of the conflict. The superweapon turns out to be a young female robot that is essentially a blank slate when the investigator first encounters it. So much so that he must teach this robot language, as well as name it. The human investigator bonds with the robot over time, protecting her from both sides of the conflict, until it is finally captured by the side that built the doomsday weapon. However, plugging the superweapon robot into the doomsday weapon causes a chain reaction that results in the total destruction of the base, which crashes down from the sky, causing immense destruction, but leaving both sides alive to hash out their differences later. See what I mean? Not particularly original. The Creator cribs its main story beats from the 2001 anime film Metropolis. It's a shame that none of these professional film journalists can be bothered to remember this critically acclaimed film that did the entire story 20 years ago. But really, it's even older than that. The 2001 Metropolis film is based on two sources of the same name, the Osamu Tezuka manga from 1949 and the silent Fritz Lang film from 1929. It's a story almost as old as film itself. But even the parts that don't come from Metropolis are incorporated from elsewhere. The nuclear disaster causing a war against the machines is clearly Terminator. And specifically in Terminator Salvation, we had a story in which the supposedly evil robot turned out to be the good guy. And the sub-theme in The Creator that sentient robots can display more humanity than humans also comes directly from the BBC TV show titled Humans, of which the filmmakers must be aware because it starred Gemma Chan, who is in this movie. I just think it's strange that the collective memory of the film industry is getting shorter over time. Film journalists should know better, but maybe that's asking too much of people these days. It shouldn't be too hard to spot unoriginal remakes when that's most of what Hollywood does. Please don't present them as original when they aren't. It gives filmmakers credit they don't deserve. The Creator's not full-on plagiarism, but it's also not original. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press the little buttons below and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm still getting started, so my release schedule will likely remain erratic for the time being. Videos will be as long as they need to be, so they'll take different amounts of time to make. Thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.